here to break down exactly what happened. The host of the Riley Gaines Show, which you should not miss, her podcast. All right, so you go there. You very smartly looked at the policy, and you took out a ruler. It had very strict rules. You followed them to the letter, and you held up your sign. But by the way, I'm a big fan of Sophie Cunningham for taking the stand, like I'm a fan of yours for taking the stand. And they tried to make you take away your sign, but you said, no, not going to happen.
Yeah, Sean, I could have assumed that the league or someone affiliated with the league would not have wanted me to have that sign there. So I was very careful going into the game. I looked up all of the rules. I knew it had to be on an 11 by 17-inch piece of paper or poster board. I left no derogatory comment, nothing negative, nothing political. My sign said, Sophie, comma, thank you. Signed, a girl mom. A lot kinder than a lot of the signs that I saw in there, I'll tell you that. Someone from across the court, I'm assuming it was someone who was maybe a security person affiliated. He was very obviously with either the Target Center or the WNBA. He looks at me, he says, put that sign down. And I'm looking around, there's like 1,000 signs beside me. And so I keep holding it, and he comes over there, he says, you can have your sign. I said, well, why? He said, well, it has her name on it. I said, I can't have this sign because it has Sophie's name on it. He said, that's right, you can't. It shows you that the league very clearly has an agenda that they are trying to purport that is not representative of reality at all. The only people that the Lynx or whoever was in charge of the camera put on the Jumbotron were people who were draped in their pride flags and their trans flags, who had their trans signs, some of those wearing those shirts that says protect trans kids or protect trans lives that have a literal knife on it, an object that is used and intended for violence. And then you have Cheryl Reeves, the coach, wearing a shirt that says trans kids belong. They say that Sophie has aligned herself politically conservative because she has stood by the slogan of protect women's sports. That's it, nothing more, nothing less. If protect women's sports is deemed political, like they say, then so is trans kids belong. The league often says they have a problem with people like Sophie bringing politics into sports. The league doesn't have a problem with politics in sports. They have a problem with conservative politics in sports. And I will tell you, Sean, every time Sophie was on the court, every time she was subbed in, every time she threw up the ball, she was booed by the entire stadium virtually, bar me and Jen Say, who is sitting next to me, owner of XXXY Athletics. They're trying to do to her what they've done to people like me, what they do to people like you. They call you reprehensible, totally inaccurate things like racist. And I think that's at best. And they use violence against you at worst. But I will tell you that Sophie is absolutely unshakable. She is unwavering, and that makes her uncancelable. And that sort of confidence and courage that she exudes is certainly contagious.
Well, it's not going to go over well in the country. I would go back to the Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light controversy. Going woke makes you go broke. I am impressed with Sophie and what she's doing. I'm not too impressed with the coach Cheryl Reeves and her comments and her shirt. Trans kids belong. Okay. Nobody's talking about going after kids. However, we are talking about protecting girls' sports. And you lived through this, and that is biological men in the locker room and competing against them. Very different scenario. So you lived it yourself. I was a little disappointed, too, and I want your thoughts on Caitlyn Clark. I mean, I've always been a fan of hers. I feel like she's been unfairly targeted in the league. The flagrant fouls have been many, and I think it needs to end. And you have the two of the biggest stars in the league, you know, Caitlyn Clark and Sophie Cunningham. And I wish that Caitlyn would have backed up her teammate.
I know, I do too. But I will say, Sean, honestly, I kind of get why she doesn't. Hear me out. Again, just being there in that stadium and the treatment that they gave Sophie, whether it's Lynx fans, whether it's the league itself, whether it's the coach of the opposing team who had choice words for her prior to the game, it would be really hard. When Caitlyn Clark, as you said, she's already been subjected to direct and repeated targeted violence on the court. It's not defended at all by the league. So to put herself in a position and give them more ammo against her, honestly, I kind of understand where she was coming from. And I think it's safe to assume what she thinks. I don't want to speak for her. Of course, I'm not going to volunteer her for this position. But I think when someone doesn't outwardly say that they think trans women are women, I think it's safe to assume that they believe that women's sports should only be for women. Yet I think there's a level of fear, even still, that Caitlyn Clark probably possesses that keeps her hesitant in saying that outright.
Look, I think you're being very gracious. It's hard to tell people to take a political stand, but it is your teammate. You know, the irony is this would be good for the league. These are two of the biggest stars in the league. If people are going to show up and boo them, they're all hurting themselves. Last word.
Yeah, well, when the WNBA subsidizes everything from the NBA, they don't care about being a marketable or profitable league. They're hell-bent, it seems, Sean, on just folding on itself.
Yeah. All right, Riley Gaines, thank you. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with Me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.